You don't. You just straight up don't. The question posed in the thumbnail of this video, how to beat Nimrod, you don't have to. He's perfectly fine. You don't have to beat him at all. We're going to go into why Nimrod is actually probably the best Battle Pass card released, at least in the last 4 months, and it's not for the reason you think. I hope you enjoy. I'm your host D, also known as MTF Doom. If you love content like this, the best way to let me know is with a subscribe. I guess you don't have to decide right now. It's the beginning of the video. But if we get into it and you like it, keep it in mind. It's the red button down below. Costs you nothing. Helps me know that I'm doing what people want to see. Thank you so much. All right. So the answer to the question of like how do you beat Nimrod is like, if you really want that answer, it's Arrow, it's Armor, it's Cosmo, it's what it could be, anything that moves, right? Magneto, Polaris, anything that moves cards around, anything that stops stuff from being destroyed, right? If you played Armor and Atuma right now, you'd probably beat Nimrod decks. You just would. We are gonna get into like, all right, the thing is, asking how to beat Nimrod is kind of like asking how to beat the Hood, right? Like, it's like, well, you don't have to beat the Hood. The Hood is just, it's just part of a deck. Like, it's part of quite a few decks. It's a very solid card in a lot of ways, but no one's like playing the Hood and that's why you lose, right? And we're going to look at, so to compare this, neither Zabu nor Surfer exists as they existed when they were released. Surfer used to give your 3-cost cards 3 power, but had no power himself, right? So if you hit right now 2 3-costs, you've gotten the same 6 power. But if you hit 3, you're starting to get less and less power, right? Because now you've only gotten 8, whereas you would have gotten 9 before, and it gets worse. The more 3 costs that you hit, the worse off the rate of Surfer is. Now, the thing is, Surfer as a 3/2 is probably, with this effect, is probably what he should have been released as. It just is. Because now it combos with Brood, and just the fact that you might have some 3 costs in your deck, but it doesn't completely break that deck, right? Like, getting 2 hits on this and making this like a 3/6 is fine. Getting 3 hits and making it a 3/8 is good, right? We talk about this with Cerebro sometimes, where like, you want cards like the Cerebro deck kind of only functions if all the cards are X power, but we all kind of wish it wasn't the case. Like, wouldn't it be better if Cerebro just functioned in more decks? But, you get what you get. Same with Zabu. Zabu used to be a 3/2, where your 4 costs 2 less. And this led to really toxic play patterns, and it ended up getting nerfed or changed. It is worse, but it's not strictly worse. We've talked about that before. This version of Zabu, only reducing them by 1 cost instead of by 2, but coming down a turn earlier, changes how you use Zabu, but it is worse, but it's not always worse. There's some situations where this unique effect is, and that's the thing, it's like, it's a unique effect, right? Like, it's just Cable. It's just whatever, right? It's just any 2/2 with a unique effect. Cool. Like, that's good. I'd say this is probably better than a lot of 2/2s with like just kind of dirtily fine effects. This is good. This is a good card. It's not game breaking, but it's good. Then I think they overcorrected and we got MODOK last season. 5/8 on reveal, discard your hand. MODOK is 1 with nothing. If you know that one from Magic. Famously unplayable card. MODOK saw some play, never competitively like the 2 before it, but there's a deck that wants to meme play MODOK. There's maybe a couple even, and going forward, MODOK might see more play, because the more cards that have effects that say when you discard this that there are in the game, the better MODOK gets. So right now we have like Swarm and Wolverine, but I know there's at least one spoiled that's going to have that effect. And, you know, Sabretooth, right? Or Sabretooth might just be destroyed. But the point is, the more of those cards that there are, the better MODOK gets. And because of the nature of living games, eventually there will be enough cards that have that effect that MODOK will probably see some amount of just like tier 2 play. And that'll be good. It'll be good for him when he gets to that point. It's probably not there yet. So that brings us to this month's card. And what you all theoretically clicked on this video for, Nimrod. And the reality is, as I said in the intro, you don't have to beat Nimrod. Like, you might be kind of sick of him already, as I kind of am. You're probably seeing quite a lot of Nimrod on the ladder because he's the hot new thing, and this game is so anti-hype that this is the only new card that you're likely to get as like a fairly entrenched player like myself. You know, you're up in the like 2,000-ish collection level. It's like, you're never going to see the fives, the pool 5 cards. You don't have anywhere near enough tokens to warrant buying any of them. You're not quite Series 3 complete, but all the Series 3 cards you still need are just kind of like not very good, and you're not going to be excited when you open them. So a lot of us end up finding ourselves in this position. So we have to take what we can get, and Nimrod is what we can get. And so like the last couple days, you've probably seen this card a million times. I literally released a video yesterday on how to play with them, and I stand by that video. Like, you know, we take what we can get. It's the start of a season. You have as little to lose as you'll ever have, right? Until you hit infinite. And now is the time to play these dirtily cards. But this is just a dirtily card. It's going to slot into a lot of decks, and it's not really going to make or break them, whether you have it or not, right? This literally, in so many ways, this is just the hood. Like, you know, it's just like, okay, you have to do work to destroy it once for it to be okay. And it's like, it's okay after that. The hood is a 2/4, right? If you don't do anything, the hood is a 2/4, but if you do the work of destroying one thing, it's a 2/6, right? And that's really good. Like, a 2/6 is very good. So that's why I say trying to ask the question, how do you beat Nimrod, is like trying to ask the question, how do you beat Hood? If you really, really don't like that like people are getting Nimrod value, by all means, play Cosmo, play Armor, whatever. Like, those are all always options. But I think very, very importantly, we're all seeing a lot of Nimrod right now, and it has kind of done a good thing in opening up the format to other things that are just kind of fair. Because Nimrod's just kind of fair, right? Like, you're just gonna, like, in the Galactus deck, he's obnoxious. Absolutely, I'll say that. But in so many ways, all that's really happening with this card is that a bunch of people are playing decks where they're just putting increments of 5 power out on the field, and I love that. I'm having the most fun I've had in quite a while in Snap right now, because so many people are incentivized to play this card, even though it's not the best card you could be playing. And I wish that was more embraced by the game and by the community, because it has led to the most fun, like, matches, right? And I very much encourage you to hang on to this, to not try to ruin people's fun. Like, I don't want to be like, don't ruin people's fun, because I know, like, climbing is something that a lot of people want to do. But don't overly worry about Nimrod and be like, how are you ever going to beat... Oh my god, I need to pack Armor and Cosmo and Polaris. Nah, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's totally fine. Do not fret your pretty little head. It's not a big deal. Actually enjoy that people are playing kind of an average card, because it's not going to last long. People are going to be like, this card's average. God damn it. I'm going back to my busted stuff. That's it. I hope you enjoyed. We're going to keep it under 10 minutes today. I hope you enjoyed. I've been your host, D, also known as MTF Doom on Marvel Snap. If you did enjoy, if you find my content elucidating, enlightening, or enriching, the best way to let me know, as I said at the top of the hour, is a subscription down below, or a comment, or joining the Discord. All that and more helps me so much. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all tomorrow.